Hello my friends and welcome to this tutorial and guide for the golden shot. Difficulty level is hard. This is the Oasis edition and this is from the Desert Open tournament, hole number 7. We're going to play with our golden wood club, as that is the club that we're going to use in any type of wind. So as you can see here, we do have an accuracy of 51 and you can see the ring numbers for your adjustment here on the screen for max, mid and minimum distance. I'm going to talk about that of course while I'm adjusting my shot, so you know how many rings and why I'm over adjusting, etc, etc. The chest that you can see on the screen is the ones that you can win depending on which ring that you're going to get. You get one free shot and we're going to start with our free shot here, 5.9, and we're going to adjust this one as for a double bounce. 1 bar top spin combined with 2 bars of side spin to the left. We have to have in mind while playing in headwind, the ball guideline do fool us a little bit because it's going to drag itself down a little bit as to the bounce. So bouncing in headwind, you do get a much less bounce than you would be having the same type of wind as side wind or tailwind. So we do adjust for 5.9 as we would be in medium distance, which would be 2.5 rings approximate. We'll go with a little bit more, and the key that we do want there is that we do want the ball to bounce just before the rough. But again, to have that in mind, bounce that one just before the rough, then you need to aim in the rough, because again in headwind the ball guideline is going to act a little bit differently and you're going to have to adjust a little bit further ahead for it to bounce a little bit less than it is. So we did get the jello ring. They're very close to the hole-in-one. Happy with that shot. And of course headwind, then it's going to be tough. Tailwind is going to be tough. The easiest way to get close is with sidewind. So, okay, going to go to shot and number 2 here. We did invest in 6 shot here to show some different approaches. So we do get every single type of wind. And all the shots that you're going to be able to see would have been one sort of price chest. So again, we're having tailwind. Now we're going to go with a double bounce, but now we do want to have a different result. Now we do want to hit the rough on top. So we either want to hit the rough on top or just slightly hit the fairway just after the rough. But as you can see here, we are adjusting again in the middle of the rough. That is because again, when having tailwind, the bounce will act differently, or the ball guideline would act differently as you're going to bounce further due to coming in with wind in your back. So adjust that one, and now we drop it, we get that bounce, we get it just by the rough there, get that kick out of the rough and get one of the chest. Sure, you know, now maybe looks like, okay, we went really short here. Yeah, we did, and then that is why I said in the beginning as well that it is okay that we bounce on the fairway or the fringe after the rough. Sure, we will be coming in a little bit hot, but that is absolutely the best way to play in tailwind, in my opinion, to at least bag one of the chests. So we're going to go to shot number 3, or like 5 shots to go. Going to go to shot number 3. Now we do get some side wind. Now we're going to go with max backspin and no side spin whatsoever. We're going to have our reference point here with our ball guideline just outside that blue ring, as you can see, or like purple ring. We do have 7.8 and we're going to adjust this shot for being in maximum distance, which will be just slightly less than 4 rings. We're going to under adjust this one just a little bit and go with 3.5 rings. And we're going to hit it perfect. Now you will be able to see the bounce here as we're going to be bounced in here straight towards the pin. A little bit to the left there, so would be having to go a little bit more to the right. And as you can see there as well, with the bounce that we did get, was basically that we did get our ball to bounce in a bowl. And with that I mean, it's like with that particular bounce, it's basically that it just shuts down. It does not get that high bounce that we do want to, and that is the problem with that fairway position, that we will sometimes get a a bounce that we are not happy with. But in the end, happy with the adjustment, we went straight at the pin and we bagged one of the chests. So again, headwind, and we're going to adjust the same type of way. We're going to go with max backspin, no side spin. We're going to adjust as we would there with that purple ring. So basically around 4 squares out to the right to just count for the push that we're going to get from right to left by having side wind. So 7.3, now we're going to go with 3.5 rings again. So even though we had 7.8 the last time, but we under adjusted that one a little bit, so we need to change that. We need to adjust it as it should be. So 3.5 rings, and now you will be able to see the same type of bounce, but we are absolutely straight towards an hole-in-one. So the same type of bounce, get it short, then you maybe wonder, okay, should I remove some backspin if I'm hitting that spot all the time? Yeah, maybe, but in the end, if we do get the other type of bounce, then you will be coming in very, very hot. So then you do need the backspin that you do have on your club. And still, if we would be having all the rings, that would have been a chest. So the same type of wind base is 6.1. We are not going with max backspin. Now we're kind of removing half a bar. So we're just going with 4. And now we do have the same type of adjustment as our ball is going to be pushed from right to left again. We'll go with around 3, just a little bit more, not that much more, but just a little bit more, as it is 6 miles per hour that we basically adjusting for. Then it should be around 3 rings. Hit it perfect, using maybe a slight amount too much overpower, but now look at this bounce. Look at that high bounce compared to the other bounce that we did have. And now for not having that backspin that we did have on the other 2 shots, then we come in a little bit too hot. And we, of course, we did hit the pin and then we bounce away from there, but still close to an hole-in-one. And now we do have 2 more shots to go. 5.5, we're having side wind on the other direction now, and now we're going to get max side spin, max backspin, sorry, combined with 1 side spin to the left. And this time you can see here we do not have that much space on the fairway platform there, and also I want to use the same type of spot here for my adjustment. We'll go with slightly less than 3 rings, and the thing that we do miss here is that we're using too little side spin, because we need to counter for the bounce, and we haven't adjusted to counter for the bounce that we're going to have. So we're going to go right, but we're going to get a perfect bounce, and we do get the distance that we do want to for an hole-in-one. So still, that would have been one of the outer rings, but we want to get that one just a little closer. But with 3 bars of side spin to the left there instead, then it would have been spot on. So last shot here now. See if we can bag the obsidian chest or the crimson chest here. Now we're going to have some difficult tailwind, and the difficult tailwind here is going to be bounced here, and we're going to look for getting that one in the rough. So going with 2 bars of side spin there with a little bit of top spin, and then we're going to adjust for having 7.4, a little bit more than 3 rings, as we are in medium distance, and then we're going to adjust this shot properly, let it bounce, and try to use the rough. It doesn't really matter if we bounce it over the rough like that we're going to do, but then we do have too much of topspin. As you can see, we're coming in too hot here and miss it just slightly. So my friends, this was the golden shot tutorial, hard edition here. So if you did get some of the chests or just have a comment or question, please make a comment in the comment section below. Hope this helps, and I would have like to wish you the best of luck in the golden shot.